Peace and love, you guys. This is Centric Healing, back with another video. This is a mediumship reading on Michael Jackson. I've been actually wanting to do this for a while. So I've been wanting to do this, and I was like, I've been kind of channeling him. Certain songs been kind of stuck in my head. I was like, it's time to do a video on him. I have not did a Michael Jackson really reading in depth. What to start with? I looked at a little bit of his chart. He was a Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon, and he's a Pisces Moon like me. So I already know all of the creatives was in his head came through his dreams. The visuals that he had through all of his music was through the dreams. That is the first thing I get already looking into him, that he was a dreamy, imaginative person. Dare I say, just one of those people that can look deeper than our eyes. And he also showed time traveling is one thing that angels are already letting me know. So I'm going to go on to ask Archangel Raziel. She's the archangel for mediumship ability. She just helps open up you to the natural realms to help you, come and connect to people. She also helps people cross over, and she's there with them before they die. She helps people in the ICU. It's just a lot she does. So I'm going to connect to Archangel Raziel to connect me to Michael Jackson. Archangel Raziel. One of his favorite songs he keeps telling me is Heaven Can Wait and Lady in My Life. He's saying those two songs are like his favorite. It's an unreleased song that they didn't release that he still loves, by the way, and he loves Do You Remember the Time. Those are his favorite. He loves Do You Remember the Time because in his previous life connection, he has a deep connection to Egypt. He has deep connection because he was a king in his previous life. He was a king, but a lot of these kings are swiped away from history because they were black. They like to keep us oppressed, so this is kind of swept away. This king that he was is swept away, but he was a very, very powerful king. As well as what I'm being shown. Archangel Gabriel was around him first and most throughout his career because of his creativity. Archangel Gabriel was for creativity, music, arts. The arts was called to him at an early age. The arts was very called to the mom. They get their talent from the mom's granddad, is what I keep being shown. The mom's father. It's like his grandfather was very talented. So their ancestry lineage actually come from Catherine's side, not Joe, is what I'm really shocked about. It comes from the mom's side. The mom was very creative in a lot of ways, but religion stripped her away. I do see Catherine was abused a lot in her childhood as well, but she was just told to be very, very quiet. Religion told her to shush, hush, and she just wanted to obey. She wanted to obey. Still to this day, she very believe in just obeying the rules, the laws, you know what I mean? She's very stripped away from her power. And she is actually very powerful. She's a praying woman. She has very much healing. She has healing hands is what I keep being shown. The mom, she has very much healing hands. And she knows very, very much strong prayer. That's actually helped this family, but the family still have a lot of blockages thrown their way. And it's also a lot of karmic that they're faced through their father lineage. With sexually abuse is one thing that Mike was telling me. Sexual abuse, his father didn't sexually abuse him. Michael Jackson was sexually abused as a child. Child to like in his 20s. I'm being shown the dad sexually abused the oldest two daughters, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. At one point in the life, this was before they got famous. Not Janet, but the other two sisters is what he's showing me. I'm asking about the dad. The dad is in hell, is one thing he's telling me. The dad is in hell because also he sold his children away. He's also a lot of the cause of Michael's death and a lot of Michael issues. So he's very much a big cause in his issues, and he was a karmic that Michael was going to face. Abusive father that tries to control you, tries to stripe you from your power because of his demons as well. This dad was very sick in the head, very sick. very, very sick, and he caused a lot of pain emotionally to these children as well. Still to this day, the children still have a lot of PTSD from their father. All the children that are living still have pain about the hits, the beatings out of nowhere. Catherine was beat on as well from the father. The father beat on the mom as well. Uh, for a few years he did it. He didn't do it. He was off and on with his hitting to the mom, but she was very much abused as well. So everyone in his house got it. He forgave his father. As soon as he ascended, he forgave his father. It was a peaceful resolution he needed to do to become a spirit guide to his children. One thing he wanted to ascend well for was for his children and to watch over his mom. That was his biggest thing. The sibling he's very close to, believe it or not, he really watches after Reby is what I keep being shown. He keeps showing me her. He really watches after her a lot. Like, he watches after her a lot. Spirit guide. He's a spirit guide as well to one of her sons. She has a son that he really watches over, but he's an ancestor to a lot of their children. But it's something also, one of these brothers he's not fond of. One of the brothers I'm being shown, Michael showing me, one of his brothers sexually abused one of their own children, and he's not a fan of that. So he's kind of not watching over this brother, and his brother's having health issues. One of the older brothers, they could have a foreign wife, but something here with kind of looking at the daughter something inappropriately. So he has very dark thoughts, and Michael's not a fan of that. Sorry for my allergies, by the way. One thing about Michael, about his whole career, is one thing the angels are telling me. He did not want to stop. He wanted to continue to make music that was life and timeless. And the image I'm being shown of Sinners, how music conjures up time, and it stays through time. And that was one thing about Sinners I enjoyed. Beautiful movie, beautiful film about hoodoo as well. The thing about this is what I'm being shown. He was into Beethoven, James Brown, the Beatles, Aretha Franklin. He looked at how music really stays the same, how life stays the same. We have our characters, but it all stays the same. Really, everything really stays the same. And that's one thing he's showing. He's showing the devil stays the same. The devil. He's telling me before, he like, go ahead and say this. I'm like, okay, Michael. Okay, Mike. He, by the way, he talks very hood, by the way. He talks a little hood at times. It's like it's a code switch for him. I'm being shown, like he's saying the devil stays the same. Like the devil then and now, like how Elon Musk and stuff, it still stays the same. And it reinvent through times and how the devil really stays all together. It stays through the power of the same. So that's something that we're always gonna have to deal with. Everybody who walks through this valley of earth, it's like everything still stays the same, really. Okay, that's one thing he's telling me as well. Is that time really stays the same because he's lived multiple lives, and he was also a time traveler. He was a time traveler in his life. A time traveler. Michael Jackson was a time traveler, is what the angels are telling me. Time traveler, but also he was an indigo kid as well. But he also was a king in two lives, but also a previous life connection to something I'm being shown. An indigo, not really indigo, more of a star seed, the angels are telling me. I have a lot of people be like, oh, I'm a star seed. I'm like, and I read them. They're not really that. I've read it's so many that are not really. Like the smaller few then. I'm being shown his daughter Paris is a star seed as well with him. And I do see Blanket. Those two followed him in the previous life. In the movie I'm being shown is Avatar. It was like that's how life was for them. And that's why it was Mother Earth, Mother Nature. And they're very much about nature and holistic health, holistic medicine. Paris is very into the arts. One thing he look at her, he loves her spirituality, growth, but he needs her to get into the right light. He still want her to have God as her saving grace. Don't look at look at the crystal as the tool that God created to help heal you. Don't look at it as God. So he's still Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, but he's higher than above, so he knows the full truth than what they hide from us. That's one thing he is saying. Going into his early career, he loved animals. He loved animals. That was one thing, because he was also an earth angel to help heal Earth through music and through children. And he had a very big thing for children. He loved kids, but animals was one of the favorite things, and it helped him escape. But he loved to daydream. He did have ADHD. He was showing me he had ADHD, but he told me when he loved something, he will work at it. I'm being shown that they showed his gift through a talent show or something like that. His voice kind of wowed them, but it was like a teacher that was in his ear. This teacher, she's passed on. She's ascended very well. She's in heaven as well. He's saying like, I love her, but he was saying like she was my guide. She was like, but she was a prophet as well, as what he's saying. She had prophecy dreams. It looked like she was very religious, but she saw something in him. It's like she told the mom or something like that. So I do see somebody at the school, a teacher, told them that he has a gift and to use it. I'm already being shown when he first went to Motown. It looked like, okay, the first thing that he's showing me is that they had a few auditions. It took a while to really get it. One thing his biggest issue was his dad made him go into a room with Barry alone. But Barry was very, very creepy. Barry still is very creepy, is what the angels are showing me. He creeps him out, but Berry Gordy also creeps. It was like Jermaine was at one point going to be all of the alleged. By the way, this is for allegedly for entertainment purposes only. By the way, I was saying the schizophrenic thing. I apologize if it offended anyone. I'm just going to say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I never meant to make fun of a mental illness in any room. I'm just so I need to take that out there. But allegedly for entertainment purposes only, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Going on, but it's like Jermaine, his brother. Jermaine was very talented. Jermaine deals with a lot of issues with his sexual orientation. Jermaine has had he battles with his sexuality a lot. That's one thing he does battle with. I'm being shown, the angels are telling me. But one thing I'm being shown that Michael Jackson is saying is like Berry Gordy really favored him and Jermaine. And Jermaine at one point was going to be, it was like they was trying to push him to be his boy toy. This is one thing that they really resented from their dad. I'm being shown him and Jermaine had to do something to a few record executives. And it's something here with a foreign man outside the country that he pimped too. It's like the daddy pimped, Joe pimped him and Jermaine out. They were the ones that kind of got pimped out through the industry. And through this, I'm being shown the rituals kind of started towards 75. The age 1975. I don't know at what age. He's showing me 19 or 16. The ritual started then. And then that's when Diana Ross came in for him, is what the angels are showing me. Michael was telling me Diana Ross came in. He was enamored by her. He really thought she was so beautiful and larger than life. He really looked at her like almost like a piece of art, a muse. It was like she was his muse in his life. He wrote a lot of music about her, but she did somewhat groom him, is what he said. He forgave her, but it was like she was really enamored by him. But as well, she was kind of programmed-ish because she's had rituals placed on her as well, is what he's saying. So he forgive her. He watches over her. A lot. Yeah, but they did have a relationship affair, and then she almost turned him out, almost. So they did started dating-ish around the Wiz. But it was something weird with Berry Gordy wanting to watch, is what I keep being shown. It's like he was a voyeur, kind of like P. Diddy. Berry Gordy, he was like a voyeur, like wanted to watch him and Diana Ross for some reason, is what that he keeps showing me the image of. But I do see, do they have a child together? I do see this is a child that's hidden Michael Jackson has. This child is around, but it's hidden that this is his. He only have one biological kid. Michael Jackson's other three children are not his biologically. He's saying those are not his children. He's telling me, and he's very honest. He did have issues with his race. That was why. But also, he had issues with his sperm. I do see he had a lot of health issues. Some things got cured. He went to Dr. Sabi's, what I'm being shown. But he took his son. But this is public documented, is what I'm being told. He took his son. Did the son have some brain issues? It looked like something here with brain issues, but Michael Jackson got a few things cured with lupus. He was having blood deficiency because it looked like also they tried to hook him on a machine at one point. Something, by the way, happened and transpired with him at one point with Scientology. That is one thing that he's breaking down. This was like 88, 89 Scientology. And he's showing me already, because he's going fast. He said, because he's talked about it so much with so many readers. The incident with Pepsi, that was their first take of trying to clone him. He's saying that they were the first to try to clone me when they saw Thriller was a big success. And they saw, they didn't want a black man at the top, and they still don't. So that's when the cloning wanting to happen. And he showed a lot of black people were trying to turn away from him because it was a lot of incidents that happened from this, and a lot of black people he didn't trust at no point. He felt that they were shady. So this was when his mental breakdown started. This is when the crazy plastic surgery was happening. But the rituals were happening for a while through producers doing things to his music as well. Doing a sound to music, he felt to harvest the energy. And he saw harvesting in the crowd when people just started acting just like passing out through him. He just felt like it was some type of rituals through the sound of music. That's one thing he's talking about. He's talking about the conjuring of the sound, and how music is really spells. That's one thing he's also talking about. So this is very interesting. He's talking about this. He's been talking about this for a while though. He said this was public documented. He said a lot of the stuff he talked about was public documented. So now he's going to Brooke Shields. He's flashing me to Brooke Shields for some reason. Brooke Shields and him were both victims, and they were both mind altered together. He found her attractive, but he battled with his orientation at times. I will label him sexually fluid, but also asexual is what he's showing me. Where he found people attractive, but he was not a sexual person, is what I'm being shown. And also through sexual abuse, they didn't want him to have sex at all. Because he was sexually abused at a young age. He did not want to have a lot of sex in this life, but he found people attractive, but he was very much asexual in his life. But bisexual, if that makes much sense to me, is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm taking in from what he's telling me. So the next year, he started seeing people act weird, but he started seeing the white people come in, and they wanted him to join the circle, join the club, join the triangle, join, the Illuminati, join the Illuminati club. He was scared about it, but he took in a few of them. It looked like to me Brooke Shields was a puppet, and she liked him, but she was trying to put him into the club, is what he's telling me, to join the club. So when the white people started hanging with him, they wanted him in the club. Liz Taylor, he showed me Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor was fun to him because they, in a previous life, Liz Taylor, by the way, was a goddess. But Liz Taylor as well was his mother in the previous life as well, is what I'm being shown. So that's why they were deeply connected. And his life with him being a king, Liz Taylor, by the way, could have been black. Something here, she was black in the previous life as well. She was his mom. That's why he was so deeply connected to her. He looked at her still as his mom, like even in heaven. Like he looked at Catherine, his mom, but he looked at her as his mom, and he looked at Diana Ross as his muse. She's his muse. She's more his art tool for a lot of music, and she was just something seductress to him. And he write a lot of his music was about her as well. And so he's already showing me Thriller was a very odd time, because that's when his life was over, because that's when they was ready to kill him. because he had to be their puppet and he didn't. So he's showing me the ritual started. The ritual started. Join the club, join the club, join the club, join the club at the Grammys. Join the club, join the club, join the club, join the club. It was like they were summoning him. And then this is when he couldn't sleep at night. This is when he wasn't able to sleep. He was dealing with issues with sleep during this time. Fatigue is not waking up. He had an iron deficiency. By the way, with the fire being cut off, I do see he had a little bit of bruises. And then I do see he started liking, this is when he started the Neverland he's showing and wanted kids to come. Macaulay Culkin, he really just looked at, he didn't want Macaulay Culkin to be a victim like him. The thing is, Michael Jackson also have had, he was drugged as well in certain times when he was sexually abused. So he didn't want this to happen to Macaulay Culkin. But Macaulay Culkin has had a lot of rituals placed on him as well, mind altering. He saw that, he tried to protect that. But Macaulay Culkin didn't listen to a lot of things he advised his parents to do. And so that he tried to protect Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, and other children. But this is when he's saying, this is when the thing started to come. It was when, so it looked like the record label called the, so Clive Davis, Tommy Mottola, 3 other men and a man outside of a country was feuding with Michael Jackson. A few record owners outside of the country that we don't know of, and I keep being shown Scientology. They were the ones that builded up this case against Michael Jackson and told the parents to stop, Zebo, stop. Sorry, my dog's acting crazy. They were the ones that built this case up against them. They were the ones that told this parent. They pushed these parents, and they also gave these parents money as well. So it was also something with Scientology that they wanted him to join, and he didn't join. He said this shit was too spooky. He was like, he had to get out. He was like, I'm being shown the image of ghosts like Molly, you in danger, girl. And by the way, he did have, is somebody in his mom's side who's a good prophet that warned him about something. She's an older lady. Somebody in his mom's family, it's like they saw something as well. But his family, they know them strong prayers. His family knew very, very strong prayers. But his family was his backbone behind this. But I'm being shown LaToya was paid to say that he sexually abused kids. LaToya, he's saying, wasn't lying about everything when it comes to the family. But she was getting paid to say that he sexually abused kids. He forgave her because she was abused. She was locked down. She was beaten. Something when somebody paid the husband to pay her, like to force her to say stuff. So it was just a lot against him. Janet was a good support. She protected him. But at some point, he kind of warned her about certain stuff as well, too, that she had to look at. But she's very much guarded still about certain things in the industry. But he still, protects her. But it's still stuff she's guarded with as well. So she just don't like to be around a lot of people because of a lot of things as well. Now, going into the plastic surgery. He's showing me the plastic surgery started because of offers being made of not being a marketable look, and then he wasn't feeling love. And so he had issues with his skin complexion. But I do see an issue of lupus did cause a little bit of a skin deficiency. But his skin also had, he started bleaching is what I'm being shown. He started bleaching towards 85, I'm being shown, 1985 till the day he died. And he had obsession, but it was also part of that cloning, something with the mind altering. And I'm also being shown he was a little bit like Britney Spears, how his mind was altered, dancing with knives. He had a little bit of multiple personalities where if you see him every day, you think, is he crazy? So he had the moments like, Mike, are you crazy? Are you crazy, Mike? That's where he was having those moments at. And he showed me Lisa Marie Presley. He's telling her, get her rest. When he met her, he kept hugging her. You need to get your rest. You need to get your rest. They have very much similar childhoods. That's what they love each other because she was sexually abused. And also her mind was altered. She was a mind programmed because of the Scientology she was in. And he was a big fan of Elvis. That's one thing he really gravitated to her. So they were soulmates. Um, they were soulmates, but at times he had to be detached from her because his team didn't really like her at times because they just thought she was weird as hell. And also, she made very much. She was one of those people that make nonchalant comments but don't really try. Um, so his team didn't really like her, but they had a lot of good times together. But they weren't fully soulmates. They were just good friends, is what I'm being shown. And he look at her as a friend. He don't look at her in anything sexually or Debbie. He just look at those two as really just good friends. Brooke Shields, he look at as a friend as well. But Diana Ross, he look at as his muse. He's showing me Stephanie Mills. He look at her as a muse as well. And also someone he was romantically entangled with. But these other women, I'm being shown the white women, they were more friends to him. He just felt like he could be himself around white people without the judgment of his own. Because sometimes he felt like his own people judged him. And then at one point, he started going into Buddha. He started learning about his chakras at one point. At one point, his movie, he's just showing his movies like a time traveler. In this life of being Michael Jackson, this is just this life. He was just showing it was just like being a time traveler. Just he kept reinventing. He started learning about chakras. At one point, he started getting very spiritually. He looked at Chris Tucker as a spiritual brother as well. As Chris Tucker is very spiritually in line, is what he's showing me. And he was someone that was fighting a triangle crew, the Illuminati, and so he kind of was like a friend and a guide and a mentor. Not he was a mentor to Chris Tucker. So those two, I do see that they were good friends. Is what he's showing me. Those is who he really look at. But as well with him, that's what I'm being shown. And so I do see with the children, he didn't sexually abuse them, but it just took a really big toll on his mental health. It was times of suicide attempts, jumping off buildings. People had to come get him. He was really, really depressed. His bodyguards, by the way, he loved his bodyguards, the nanny, the cook. He really looked at them as more of his family than his own family. Like, his bodyguards was really there for him. At times, a lot of times his family, if he didn't give them money, it's like they almost want to exploit him to, like, the media, like, tell his business out. I do see his brother Randy at times. His brother Randy, he despised him a lot. At times, he still look at him as like, you got very weird ways. He can deal with his sisters a little bit better. He can deal with Marlon. I'm being shown the oldest brother, Jackie and Tito. Those two and the youngest Marlon. Marlon, I'm being shown like he can deal with those three the best. Like, those siblings he can deal with. And Janet, like I said, he can deal with her. But at times she can be questionable because she can also have very off moments where she wants to be very alone, and she can be very nonchalant. That's one thing he hates about that she has. She has nonchalant tendencies. It's unlikely he's gonna reincarnate, by the way, but as well, it was unlikely he's going to reincarnate. By the way, he's talking about Epstein a little bit, Michael Jackson. One thing he said about Epstein is like, I went to these parties, but I was very altered, where they kind of altered my brain so I wouldn't see what happened. By the way, he's showing me that the children stars are somehow robotically altered, and then I'm being shown the scene of the Matrix where they gotta take that thing out of him. Somehow they're robotically controlled that way. So that's how the mind control programming works. Also, too, is what he's being shown. Yeah, so him and Britney Spears have similar lives where he's trying to protect her from abuse. And he warned her, but he started to see the up and coming artists just be puppets and just have a lot of mind altering to them, a lot of mind programming, a lot of mind controlling to them. And that's when he started to see. Moments before he died, he saw something with a ritual at the Grammys he's showing me. It kind of spooked him, and that's when he was like, yep, I have to leave this. So the This Is It album, I'm being shown. When he did This Is It, because it's keep playing in my head, This Is It. This was where he was going to release stuff that he had. He had files of stuff, by the way. A lot of people have files, but also he's showing me he was drugged doing a lot of things. They drugged him a lot, and he didn't even know he was drugged. Um, but also he was going to talk about the mastership, the owning, but also the programming that the world do, and how we're automatically controlled. It goes deeper than Hollywood. It's like we're all tied into it. The government, the police, the whole system. We're all programmed and controlled. Is what he's showing me as well. That he was really looking into talking about, but he knew because he had threats to him. He felt people coming in and out of his house the week before he did, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I do see Tommy Mottola being inside of his house. So it was 9 record executives wanting to silence him. 9 record executives. He looked at Barry Gordy as the enemy. He does not like him at all. He look at him as a enemy. He look at most of Motown as enemies as well. He look at them as just controlled puppets. He said, fuck that shit. They're all controlled. He's saying Smokey Robinson, all of those young, he said, he's especially the ones that do overtly gospel. He said they're controlled as hell. They are suppressed and they're controlled puppets. And as well, he was tired of being a dancing robot. He was dealing with issues with his back and his knee. His back and his knee was killing him. He was not a drug addict as well. He popped pills every now and then from pain, but he was actually a holistic person. He got cured from things from Dr. Sabi and was into natural remedies of his health. So that is a lie. He was on a lot of pills. That was a lie. That was a lie systematically, and he was a clone. Michael Jackson had plenty of clones, is what he's telling me. It was like you could see a different him. His family knew sometimes if he was around, that was not him. That was not Michael Jackson. The next year, that was Michael Jackson. But that wasn't him. He was cloned. He was very much systematically cloned. And by the way, he was working on doing... Do you guys know how Beyonce do like Act 3? Like so many different genres? He was going to do something like that and then retire, is what he was telling me. So it's a lot of unreleased music. He's saying release it because it goes to the family. He did a lot of good things where everything goes to his family. He's saying, Paris, be careful being in California so you don't join no cult. He's very much warning his daughter about joining the cult. Joining the cult. He's saying, stay away, stay away. He's saying that the only people his kids can really look after is 2 of the nephews. 2 of the nephews. Janet can look after them, but Janet had to move out the country because they would keep trying to get her to join the cult. Something she's in a different country is what he's telling me as well. And so, by the way, his song Blanket is a good human design. His song Blanket is good with human design, computer programming, computer math, computer construction. He can really do a lot of portals through computers. He can make portals happen through computers. So he's one of those people that can open the portals. So he's very much an indigo kid, very smart. His oldest son is meant to do things for children, humanitarian work for children. Paris is meant to go into modeling, being a muse, being pretty, being vulnerable, but also she can be a good songwriter. Those are good three things that his children get for him all together, because Michael Jackson made portals through his music as well. So all 3 of his kids are human design of him, even though that they're not his biologically. He's saying just he has wealth looking after them, and he just wants their finances to be protected as well. He wants them just to continue to be go-getting. He's telling them to look at organizations that they can put his music in. That would be very good for them financially. By the way, one of his grandkids can come out black. One of his grandkids will come out black. Somehow is what he's telling me. And he really wants that. He really wants that as well. But he don't look at himself as black. He look at himself as any design. I do see the ex-wife, Debbie. She's having some health issues, but he's looking after her. It may be, her transition is not coming yet, but she's not living for like another 30 to 20 years is what I'm being shown. But she's not dying not yet is what I'm being shown. His mom deal with arthritis a lot. And he want her to do more natural remedies for her health. And he also is looking after his sister Latoya. She has an eating disorder going on. She has to get very much better with her blood, and she needs to get better on her magnesium as well. They have very much similarities with how their mannerisms and just very quiet and very kept is what I'm being shown. So that's what he really do on a daily basis. But he's telling me the moment before he died, he's showing me the doctor. The doctor was acting very weird. He saw suspicion going on, but he needed some issues going on with his back. It was going on with his back, and he was needing something going on with his back. He was going to this doctor for. So the doctor is, to me, this doctor was an enabler. He was getting hooked because he was also astral projecting a little bit high, but he wasn't a drug addict. He was just astral projecting a little bit high, but he wasn't a drug addict. From what I'm being shown, it was a clone. So the clone was taking place with the drugs. It wasn't really him. It was not him taking these drugs. It was a clone taking place then. But also he was coming in and out. He was coming in and out. Kind of like Britney Spears, you see. And so then the him was the natural remedies, the holistic health. And then at one point, I'm being shown, right 2 weeks before he died, I see 3 people was in his home, like while they're in my home. And it's like they were in his home without him knowing. And him being stalked and followed, so he was very nervous. But when he died, 4 of them was in the room when he died. I'm being shown Tommy Mottola and Clive Davis. But it was also, I know this is odd, but it's other people that we don't know higher than them. But it's, by the way, it's reptilians that rule the world, you guys. I know it's like, what? Are you on drugs? Yes, I'm a little crazy. It was people that ruled the world that he knew about, that he couldn't take place, that this is unhuman, and that we're going through unhuman design as well, that he knew about. So a lot of the matrix was followed in his life as well, as what he's showing me. So he broke out of the matrix through him being an artist. So that was one of the things as well that killed him as well, those people as well. And he's showing me that he went against the Epstein Island and things like that. He went to perform, but he was a clone. He didn't know what was going on. He was so altered. He didn't know, and he flew back. He did not know fully what was going on because he was summoned. So that really happened. But when he died, I do see he just felt lucid, and he kept hearing going into the white light. But he kept saying, I have to look after my kids. I have to look after my kids. That's what he kept saying right when he died. Right when he died, I have to look after my kids. He was nervous, but then God really healed him. And he had kind of like that spiritual moment of the Lion King. That's what I'm being shown, the circle of life. And he went into the white light, and the portal came, and he just opened. And then he said, and then he just kept being nervous about his kids, and they kept telling him, your kids are being looked after. His grandmother on his mom's side was like, your kids are going to be okay. And he breathed, and he watched through. He was earthbound for maybe a week, but then he extended. But then he was just like, oh God, they're still coming after me. They're still coming after me. He was like, I'm powerful. That's why they went after me. I went against. And then he kind of saw the truth about life more after he died. And he's like, it was all a bunch of lies that we saw. And he was like, this was more of a documentary than, you know, a movie, what we go through in life. So that was really it. He did have issues that a lot of people came to the funeral. He had issues that his family talked to Oprah, because he was like, why this bitch? He was like, this bitch is such a white loving bitch. And he just looked at her as just, she's a part of the system. She's a part of keeping us altered and oppressed, is what he's saying. So he's not a fan of her as well. He keeps saying witch, is what he keeps saying about her. So yeah, he's like, they're still coming after me because I'm a powerful, black, creative person, is what he keeps saying. And they knew my power, and that's one thing they're gonna keep coming after me for. So I'm like, whoa. So that's what he's saying as well in this video. So yes, oh my God, that is what he's saying. So yes, that is what he's saying for me to tell you guys. Oh my God. One message before he goes keeps saying, stand in your truth and through your power, but break through the cycle of the matrix is one thing what he's saying. And live in through your purpose as well. And he keeps saying if for artists, your gift is to tell the story of life. It's one thing he's telling artists. Any musician is to tell the story of life. Listen to Beethoven to Bruno Mars is what he's telling me. It's all the same music. Through the Shakespeare time through now, this whole life is going to stay exactly the same. So that is what he's telling me, and thank you guys so much for watching. This is what Michael Jackson told me, and this is a mediumship video on Michael Jackson. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me more videos you guys want me to do.